Good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Berger. It is Friday morning. What time is it? It is 7:50 a.m. and it is our fourth. This is the end of our first week as social isolation. Yeah, there words. Okay, so everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all just taking good care of yourself and being careful, washing your hands, doing all those really important things that we have to do at this strange time. So this is me. This is what I'm going to do today, and I want you to think more about reading today than actual writing. I'm going to have a small writing assignment, but mostly I want to think about reading. Before we talk about today's assignment, I want to talk about an earlier assignment, the one in which I assigned a text that dealt with mood. Okay, so I've been seeing some issues with mood, and I think a bunch of you are having trouble figuring out like that mood is an emotion. So a lot of your responses have been things like there's a confused mood in the text, there's a plain mood, there's a blah mood. And these aren't really moods. You can say I feel confused, but confused isn't really emotion like I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel gloomy, I feel joyous, I feel excited. So I think sometimes we're saying those words because we don't really know what the answer is. And what you want to look for is not those kinds of words. That's not going to work as mood. You really need to think about words that have emotional charge to them. I'm going to enclose a list. I'm going to post on Google Classroom a list of emotion words that you can use to use mood. So I really want you to avoid those words that they don't really commit to anything. Don't say, "Oh, the mood is this." This is what the characters are feeling. And while the character, like for example, the word confused, the characters may be feeling confused, but to really start answering the question, they're also feeling really scared. They're in this place where everything's the same. It's like they've gone into, almost a place where the whole town is made by Legos. Everything's angular. There's no greenery. There's no people walking down. Hi, neighbor, how are you? There are no children running and laughing and, playing games, or even just, I don't know, people, the usual stuff going in and out of stores and stuff like that. There's just this back and forth. I got to go here. I got to go there. Back and forth. So the kids are in this. They're feeling nervous. They're feeling scared. They're feeling intimidated. They're feeling frightened. Okay. They even talk about how frightening this is and how scary this is, and that's the mood of the piece. That's where the real emotional charge is. And I want to give you some of the words that might help you with some of that, because it really gives you the sense. Now, now, if you look here, I'm just going to talk about what, like when the when the kids are talking to the boy on that kind of electric motorcycle, he's talking like this, and he's saying, "Everyone knows our city has the best central intelligence center on the planet. Our production levels are the highest. Our factories never close. Our machines never stop rolling. Added to this, we have 5 poets, 1 musician, 3 artists, and 6 sculptors, all perfectly channeled." Okay. Now, they're talking about art and things like that, and production should be great. It should be this thing that really makes a culture, a civilization better. But they're talking about this in terms of how they're just aligned to be a certain way. So there's no sense of joy there. There's just a sense of we're all serving this one purpose. And now, at the end of the conversation, Charles Wallace says, "Where is this central intelligence center of yours?" Central, the boy corrected. "Just keep going and you can't miss it. You are strangers, aren't you? What are you doing here?" "Are you supposed to ask questions?" Charles Wallace demanded severely. The boy went white, just as the woman had. humbly beg your pardon. I must continue my route now, or I will have to talk my timing into the explainer." And he shot off down the street on his machine. So this he's like he's delivering newspapers. So this messenger is clearly terrified. So now the kids are thinking, what is going on? What's happening? Now you might think that's confusion, and to a certain extent it is, but they're really asking this because they're afraid. Okay, they're really going this because it's afraid, and even you give some of the descriptions there. There's nothing joyous there. It's all about just the houses, the big buildings, the angularness, how cold everything is. So you could even say there's a cold mood there, where everyone's feeling like, oh God, what's going on. Like there's no joy in this society. There's nothing happening that makes you want to be a part of it. So that's really my answer for the mood. This is where the mood's coming from. Okay, and then if you look, even with the descriptions of everything, after a while, the apartment buildings gave way to what must have been office buildings. Great stern structures with enormous entrances. Men and women with briefcases poured in and out. Okay, so what kind of mood do these places give? So again, these are the ideas. These are the words that are going to give you a sense of mood. Okay. So there's the answer to that. Now, today, what I want you to do is pretty simple. I want you to make sure you finish Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is called It, as in the kids finally meet It. And when you've read the story, you're going to realize It is pretty creepy, and it's a very inhuman thing. And you'll see it when you encounter it, you'll realize exactly what I'm talking about. It's a kind of idea you will definitely see in science fiction from time to time, but if you put yourself in the minds of the children who are there and they encounter this creepy it, you will realize that it is definitely something that is to be feared. Okay, so I want you to finish Chapter 9. That's your big assignment. Finish Chapter 9. I'm going to ask you one quick question, which is, how do the kids and Mr. Murray, because we're going to be, Mr. Murray has now entered the picture, how do they fight the influence of it? How do they fight it from taking over their minds? Okay, there's just one question I want to ask. And then at the end, they have to do something very radical to get away from it. So that's kind of exciting. So read the chapter, and I've got just that one question to ask, and then and that's all. And keep reading. I really hope you enjoy this book. A Wrinkle in Time is such a fun book. It really asks big questions about individuality, about what it means to be a person, about what it means, as a person, just a member of society, and you're just there to do a job, and you're just there to function as this, do this, do that, or are you a person to have fun, enjoy yourself, and make mistakes, and do all the good things people do, but also do all the terrible things people do. So it asks that very basic question, which I think is exciting. So everyone be well, enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you. Oh, and I have a video conference today at 9:30, so I would love to talk to you and see you then. Hopefully you're all doing well, and take care. Bye-bye.